2020 Mahindra Roxor. So if you don't know what it is, basically it's an Indian Jeep. It's made in India. They've been producing them since 1947. I believe the story goes that Mahindra ended up with the patent rights to the tub because in 1947 AMC couldn't keep up with production of their Jeep, so they contracted Mahindra to start making them. So Mahindra said, yeah, sure, that's fine, we'll go ahead and do the contract, but we want patent rights to the tub. So they've been able to produce these in the States, but there's been a few lawsuits that have come about for this right here, the front end that looks like a Jeep. So they had the issue with the front end with the 7 slot thing. I can still get a 7 slot for this 2020, but they changed the front end to this racetrack design that kind of reminds me of a Toyota Land Cruiser. And I originally wanted to change it to a 7 slot to make it look like a Jeep, but this racetrack design is really growing on me. I really like it. So it's got a 2.5 liter turbo diesel. It's 533 gears. It's got a 5-speed manual transmission and a 2-speed transfer case. It's basically bare bones old school Jeep. It's all it is. If you're looking for something that's gonna go out in the sand dunes and jump stuff, this isn't your rig. This thing is exactly meant to do what an old Jeep is meant to do, but it's got some modern twists to it, you know? Power steering, power brakes, disc front, drum rear, a diesel engine. You can't beat that. Those things go forever, and Mahindra has been making tractors for years, and they do a good job of it. So it's exactly why I went with this thing. I have done a few modifications. You can see I smoked out the marker lights. These fender flares do not come with it. I put those on, and it was kind of a pain in the butt to do it. Front bumper. That's just some C-channel, 6-inch C-channel from our local steel shop. Went ahead and cut it short, put the holes in it, and slapped it on. Super simple. Looks like a nice little stubby bumper. Went ahead and blacked out the headlights with some headlight fog. I will be eventually getting some actual blacked out headlights for LED. Put the blinkers in, and I'll put a link in the description as to where I got all this stuff. A lot of it comes from companies called Diesel Freak and On the Rocks Fabrication. They're really your guys that you're going to want to go to find all these parts. Smoked out the tail lights. There's the sticker that I got from On the Rocks Fabrication. They do a really good job. Instructions are clear. Product is really good. So that's the outside of the vehicle, and what I've done to that, I guess you could call this either inside or outside, but I also put the windshield on. So the windshield does not come with glass, so you have to go down to your local glass shop and have them put the windshield in. It's a fairly easy process. I didn't film it because, well, to be frank, On the Rocks does a really good job of supplying the instructions. So the windshield wipers do not come with the windshield. I went ahead and bought those kits as well. Again, super simple. Make it really easy to figure out how to install these. So I will let, if you have one of these and you're looking for a video on how to, I'll let someone else's channel show you how to, because that time has passed. Let's see what what else did I do here? So I put my rocker switches. You have a couple blanks here that you can work with. I went ahead and put my pump and my windshield wipers right next to each other, so I can do them at the same time. Spray and wipe. I went ahead and threw steam shocks on here. Let's see if I can. Got the Bilsteins in there, so it's no longer running stock shocks. It is running Bilsteins 5125s. Believe it or not, I just happen to have a pair sitting around, so that worked out nice for me. Now, the issues with it, the cons, you could say. The suspension. So if you're going to get one of these, go with the stock ride height. Do not get the factory lift. The reason why is because it drives like a bucking bronco. The springs are super stiff. You go over even the slightest little bump in the road and it feels like the seat's getting shoved up your butt. And I do understand that, you know, it's meant to be an older vehicle, stiff springs. I got that. My dad has a 2018, or is it 2019? One of the two. My dad has one of these. He has the stock spring height, and he did a spring over axle lift on his. And his drives like a Cadillac. And he has stock shocks. He does not have Bilstein 5125s. So, if you're going to buy one brand new, which does not have the front end like this one, do not buy a factory lift. Go out, get one with the regular ride height, and do a spring over. It's like $500 to do the spring over. So it doesn't come with a back seat. I went ahead and installed the back seat. I did a little bit of modification to that. Show you what I did here. This is my little speaker thing I bought from Costco, which we'll talk about later or in another video. I'm not sure yet. So this is a fold and tumble seat. Hold on one second, I'm out of hands. So it folds over like that, tumbles forward. So here's the problem that I had with this. These brackets here that come with the set are really short, right? And I felt like the seat set really low, and I wanted a little bit of storage under the seat, so I went ahead and welded these up a little higher. It's not perfect. I'm not a master welder, so anyone who wants to sit there and complain about my welds, go ahead. But anyways, I welded this up a little higher, gave myself some height. Went ahead and made this bracket back here that lifts up the rear end, and it gives me just enough space under the seat to put a small duffel bag if I want to put something down there, or whatever, just anything. And my kids, when they sit in here, their knees aren't in their teeth. Now it's way more comfortable. I still need to install the seat belts. Yeah. But I'll be doing a video of what it's like to drive this thing around. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'm sure there's stuff I'm forgetting here. But yeah, please let me know what it is that you want to know.